Hello, we are MA Theatre Lab from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in London, UK. We're honoured to be returning again to Messini to the Youth Festival of Ancient Drama. This year we're coming with our production of The Bacchae by Euripides.
Hi, I'm Claudia Schneer. I'm one of the actors playing Agave, and I'm a part of the Bacchic Women Chorus.
My name is Felipe Jara, and I'm one of the actors that's portraying the character of Dionysus.
I'm Chloe Yixian Chua, and I'm one of the actors playing Tiresias, as well as a member of the Bacchic Chorus.
My name's Kate Hunter, and I'm one of the actors playing Agave and the Bacchic Women Chorus.
The play starts with Dionysus explaining to the audience that he was born in Thebes, raised in the East, and that he has now come back to Thebes searching for revenge on his own family that have denied his status as a god. He disguises himself as a human priest and enchants Agave and the rest of the Theban women to go to the hills on a Bacchic trance. Pentheus, king of Thebes, Agave's son and cousin of Dionysus, arrives and is told that the women have left the city in madness. He is upset and sends his guards to capture the women back, but they only seem to imprison this priest back to the city.
Dionysus and the Bacchic women are currently imprisoned, and by divine intervention from Dionysus, their shackles are released. In return, Dionysus causes an earthquake to happen and sets fire to the palace of Pentheus. Pentheus has a growing curiosity about what the women are getting up to on that hill and asks the priest, Dionysus, if he can go and spy on the women. So Dionysus disguises Pentheus as a woman to take him up to the hill and see what the women are getting up to.
The priest Dionysus brings Pentheus up to Mount Kithaeron to watch the Bacchic women in their rites and their dance. He puts him on the top of a tree just so he can stay out of sight, but it's no use. The Bacchic women soon spot him, the first being his mother Agave. They bring him down from the tree and viciously murder him, tearing him to shreds because in their trance, Agave cannot recognize Pentheus. In celebration, the Bacchic women carry Pentheus's head back to Thebes, thinking it's actually a lion's head. When they return to Thebes, Cadmus and Tiresias greet the women and see that what they brought back from the mountain is not quite what they think it is. After bringing Agave back to her senses, she realizes that she's actually killed her son, Pentheus, and there's a whole period of mourning. Having gained vengeance, Dionysus returns and banishes Cadmus and Agave from Thebes.
MA Theatre Lab is an advanced postgraduate training programme in theatre for actors and performers who want to extend their experience beyond interpreting roles towards creating their own original work. Every year when we come to Greece, it's an opportunity for the students to experiment with collaborating in a large ensemble. So they collaborate with myself and another tutor on creating material in response to the project. This year, Euripides is the Bacchae. And they improvise and they create structures that we then montage together into a piece that tells the story of the Bacchae. Performing outside is a major learning outcome for this project. The students, they get to challenge themselves with the task of performing outside in the ancient theatre in Messini, which is an amazing experience. Performing in front of 1,500 students who often don't speak English as their first language. Performing in front of the hillside where the Bacchic rituals took place in ancient times. And to hold that space, to have the presence, to hold everybody's attention and to tell the story of the Bacchae in that space is a really special thing. And then the second performance in Messini, in the town centre, again, such an experience to perform outside, this time in the hustle and bustle of a busy town centre with taxis going past and people going about their daily business. And again, giving them that challenge to hold the audience's attention and to tell this story in the outdoors is a great experience for the students. Our approach to the Bacchae approaches various of themes that Euripides is addressing. One of them is the need for balance, both in the way that we live societally, but also in the way that we're governed by our rulers. So on one side, you've got Pentheus, the over-secular, patriarchal, controlling politician, and then on the other side, Dionysus, who represents the other extreme, a wildness, a lack of responsibility, and impulsiveness in our daily behavior. To approach this physically, we've been exploring the quality of movement in the actors that represents both the Dionysian spirit and also the quality of movement in the characters, the actors playing Pentheus, which is very rigid, very controlled, very angular and held.
I think the theme that interests me the most, or at least at the moment, is this idea of like celebration and release, and that turning into something that you don't have control over, and where that really goes and what's behind that, I guess, impetus or impulse, and what can lead someone to need to free themselves so much that they don't recognize their own child before they literally destroy him.
I really like exploring the extremes of the binaries and the nuances within these extremes because you're not looking at good and bad. It is so much more complicated. And when people lose control and there's a figure that is controlling one of these groups, it becomes like so beautifully problematic. And those nuances are really interesting to explore.
It's been very interesting to work with the multiple voices that appear in the play, in this particular production. We've been working with the relationship between the chorus and being a protagonist and the antagonist, not in the traditional differentiation between the three, but what if the protagonist and the antagonist are choruses themselves. So I think the polyphony and how that engages with ensemble work in the stage is something very interesting to watch in this play. Working with different cultures has been something very interesting and beautiful to work with, especially with the international cohort that we have. How to engage not only from a creative aspect, but also what are the different searches in the political, in the social, in the cultural dimensions of the different artists that were here in the same room preparing this play.
I've really enjoyed exploring the movement first and marrying the movement to the text at a later point rather than trying to make them coexist early on in the making process.
I guess I really enjoyed picking apart this play as a class. Like 18 of us attacking this material together and seeing what we can make of it.
Oh, it's going to sound really cliche, but I think what I've enjoyed the most is like getting to know everybody through the work and through the improvisation instead of understanding the other people in the room, and in a way, I guess, finding those themes through these improvisations.
I've never performed in a sacred space before. I think that will be a very special experience.
Being able to perform in an amphitheatre in Greece and to sort of, I guess, feel that connection to the history and the sort of role that space has played in theatre for thousands of years, which is just a mind-blowing concept.
I'm looking forward to be in the cradle of this art form and have the honor to perform there, to engage with the people there in Messini, and also to work a play that has to do with the god of theatre.